Hi, it's Anna, School of Fine Tuning. Nice to see you again. Thank you for tuning in. We are doing a little bit of a tutorial here about how to do your lesson plan for your Petals or Level 3 AET. As an assessor for that, what I'm looking for is part of your lesson plan. There's criterias, and you will put together your lesson plan first of all with your aims and objectives. So your aims are what you are planning and what your aim to do is, and your objectives are what your learner's outcome is. So what your learners will be able to do by the end of it. And then there's columns to consider within your treatment plan. So you have first of all the timing. So you put down how long you're going to devote to each part. Essentially the trainer activity is what, sorry, keep looking over here because I've got a guideline that I'm working from. So the first column is the trainer activities. And the trainer activity is what you're doing, is what you're presenting and what your activity as a teacher is. The learner activity is what your students are doing and what you expect them to be doing to achieve their objectives. The resources are what resources you're using, and then also perhaps what resources that you need for your learners as well. Inclusion is that if there's any sort of resources or anything that your learners need to aid and assist in according to equality and diversity or learner needs, to make sure that you've understood and provided for those. And then your assessment methods, whether you're observing, whether you're doing questions and answers, how are you going to assess to see if your learners have got it? And then the functional skills is how you're going to bolster and boost functional skills like spelling and IT and communication skills, and how you're going to embed those or weave those through your lesson plan. And so giving examples. So say you were delivering, you're going to do like an introduction and make sure everybody's included in that introduction. So you're going to do icebreakers, make sure everybody's sitting round in a circle, make sure everybody can see each other. Perhaps you're doing just a name game, or perhaps you're writing down a few things that everyone's got in common. So the resources that you'll need is paper and pen. And then make sure that everybody is included so that you can see each other. And then you're going to be sure at the end of it is that everybody's, participating. You're observing that everybody's participating. You're asking anybody, has everybody got that? Any questions? And then you're observing it, basically. And then the functional skills is, well, people are writing, so you could just put down that people are doing that. And then you could be giving out, you could be doing a video, you could show a video, you could give out a handout, you could be doing a demonstration. And then your learners would be watching your demonstration, watching the video, writing some answers on an open book. They'd be watching, doing a task with an open book perhaps. The resources are either the video, pens and paper, your handouts. And inclusion is make sure that everybody's heard the video, everybody's able to see the video, everybody can read. And if they can't read, or that you've got provisions for challenging learning abilities and challenges. And then your assessment method is to question and answer and observe. You may be taking in the tasks to mark it to see how people have done. You may be asking people to write down 5 things that they've observed, and then you ask people to share what they've observed. And then again, literacy is reading out, numeracy is maybe doing some numerical, mathematical skills, or they might go away and do a presentation. You might send them away for a presentation for 20 minutes and they come back and they present. Okay, so you want to be working through your lesson plan where you have your introduction, your delivery, and then perhaps a sort of a group feedback and group sharing, and that's often interesting to see how people are in a group, and a bit of feedback and activities where you're sort of sharing the outcomes of the activities. And then you can make sure that everybody's got it and make sure that you're happy with that. And then you're going to perhaps recap and summarize what you've done and make sure that everybody's clear with that. I mean, in a larger group, it's quite difficult to get round every single body. So it's important that if it's a course, there are different lesson plans and different methods of assessment over a course rather than one day or one session. So 1 day lesson plans are quite different from schemes of work where you're doing a whole course where you're assessing over a longer period of time. But if it's in a 1 day and it's a demonstration, you're observing and you're answering and you're questioning and you're looking. They may have to go away and do case studies and come back, and then you assess around that. But if it's a 1 day CPD and you're assessing in that day, so it's questions and answers, it's observation, and you get a feeling for if they've done it. And if it's a bigger group, then you're going round making sure that everybody's getting it and that you're correcting, and then looking for where they've made those corrections and implemented those corrections. And then, you want to have a summary, and then a closing and a close down is where you have any questions, and to keep summarizing really, and then keep opening up that possibility for questions. And it's in that, really sort of make it available for people to ask questions so that they don't feel embarrassed. And hopefully, if people are coming to pay for courses, they'll make sure that they've got it. What I do is I also make videos. I make videos of what I'm doing to back up any delivery. And so I'll make videos, I'll give handouts, I'll provide a manual, I'll go over it and over it until I feel that they've got it. I do advise people to go away and practice. I make myself available for any questions once they've left the school, and then you close with gratitude. Always close with gratitude and give thanks. Thank you for people for being at your college and training school, and thank them for their attention, and thank them for being there, and also invite them back. I'm always very happy to invite people back for more training. So with that, I hope that you have got some little key skills. I think that the overriding thing as an assessor is to make sure that your learners have that you have achieved your objectives, and keep them quite small. Don't overcomplicate things. Keep it quite small. If you're doing a micro teach, do it simple and simply, and make sure that your learners are getting it. That's the most important thing, that you can see that people have got it, because it's all very well just bombarding people with information and then just walking away. You have to make sure, and that's so important, even with a larger group with short courses, you need to make sure that everybody's getting it. You need to be super observant, and there's ways of putting people not on the spot, but spotlighting people if you think that they need a little extra help, or you've given a correction and then you want to make sure that they've made that correction, they've assimilated that correction. So it takes a little bit of practice to even teach. I wish you all the very best with your training. And if you do have any further questions, I'm really happy to answer them for you. You can get in touch with me through my website if you want a longer chat or a longer conversation. But at the School of Fine Tuning, I do run a level 3 AET, which is the Award in Educational Training. I do run that and offer that qualification, and I can help you do that. I actually teach it. I know that a lot of those courses are done remotely and online only. It's quite a tricky course. It's quite a lot to it. So I make sure that I have contact teaching with you, and that can be done remotely on Zoom, and I'm really happy to help you with that. So if you want to book in, I mean, I've actually got one happening on Wednesday the 18th, if it's something that you feel right for you this minute. There's on the 18th of November 2020, I'm running one, and then after that it's probably going to be January now, or unless somebody wants to do something over December. I'm going to be catching up from my lockdown, and so probably January or early next year. But do get in touch if you're interested. This enables you to teach courses in adult education, not in the adult sector. It gives you that access to that teaching, but then if you're going into adult education, like further education, you would then have to do progressive teacher training. But it allows you to teach courses if you wanted to teach people in a private academy, adult learners in a private academy, or you want to offer workshops where you can issue CPD points, then this qualification allows you to do that. You can certainly, with this qualification, get your courses approved and accredited, and I can help you with that if you've got any questions. So yes, I've been teaching for 15 years now. I've been a practitioner for 25, but I've been a teacher now for 15. And I started teaching this AET, this Award in Educational Training, this year, the beginning of this year now, and it's really amazing to be moving on to teacher training. So if you want to join my teacher training, I would love to welcome you at the School of Fine Tuning. If you have any further questions, please get in touch or comment below. And I thank you so much for your time. Dogs barking as usual. Lots of love.